Shiloh Briggs to kick it off. It's a very short kick. That's going to drop it around the 23-yard line, picked up by one of the short men. A fake reverse at running right. Nearly hit at the 20-yard line. Breaks a tackle across the 25 to the 28-yard line. On the return by Joey Lucero. Officially a 5-yard return. That's where Lamar will set up offensively. The quarterback is Jake Walker this afternoon for Lamar. He's only at 5'8", 145 pounds. In the backfield are Joey Lucero and Mike Caddick. The wide receivers, a 3-wide receiver set, according to what we have here. Tristan Osborne, Mike Bryant, and Angelo Valdez. On the line, Joe Herrera, Travis Hall, Tyrell Woodward, Dalen Kerr, and Alexi Kelly. 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. One setback right now for Walker and the Savages. Man in motion to the right. This will be a handoff right up the gut and nothing. Hit at the line of scrimmage. That excellent brush defense was able to contain the ball carrier, Joey Lucero, I believe that was, from that position. We'll check it now. The Diggers defensively go like this on the line. Eric Ingmeyer, Adam Hinojos, Jared Marwitz, Matt Manier, and Kyle Temple. The linebackers, Josh Deal and David Cummings. In the secondary, Tomas Perez, Mitch Muniz, Drew Tredford, and Neil Samples. And that was Lucero on the carry. 2nd down and 10. In motion to the right, Valdez. Play action. Walker wants to throw to the right. The pass is complete at the 32-yard line, but brought down immediately by Neil Samples. It's a gain of 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
I'll tell you what, John, that was a real nice little play that Lamar ran right there. What they did is they faked the same play that they ran before. They faked the trap up the middle, and then Walker just made a real nice fake. He dropped back, rolled out here to his, running to his left, and threw the ball to his man out here in the flats. And unfortunately for Lamar, Neil Samples was right there and made a great open field tackle and prevented a 1st down.
Yeah, definitely a solo tackle. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, a naked backfield here. Let's see if the Beat Diggers can put some pressure on Jake Walker on 3rd down and 6 from their own 32. Valdez is in motion to the left. Quick drop. Walker looking to his left, rolling out to his left, wants to throw. He heaves it across his body, and it's complete off the deflection, and now it's intercepted. Or is it dropped? Boy, it was tipped around twice. It looked like the first man, Valdez, had it. Then it was Lucero, and then it was dropped at the 47-yard line. But that was a pinball, Dave, as the ball was all over the place. Nearly a great catch over there at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, again, the coaches of Lamar showing some faith in their quarterback because they're rolling left, and he's a right-handed quarterback. And he rolled left, and it looked like he was just going to tuck it and run with it. And he saw his receiver come open over the middle. He threw it in there, and then that ball bounced around, and the Diggers almost came up with it.
So Walker will have to punt. Back deep for the Beat Diggers is Tyler Ferrancini, standing at his own 34-yard line. 4th down and 6 from the 32. Low snap. Here comes the pressure. A fluttering punt, which will drop at the 38-yard line, and Ferrancini will let it go. And that's where the Beat Diggers will take over. A punt of 30 yards. And Brush sets up like this on offense with 10-11 to go in the opening quarter. The quarterback, as has been the case all season, is none other than Joe Ginther. Greg Geno and Shiloh Briggs in the backfield. Out on the wide receiver slot is J.R. Finley, the flanker Bobby Gutierrez, Kyle Temple, the tight end, Josh Deal, Adam Hinojos, Matt Manier, James Ginther, and David Cummings on the offensive line. It'll be 1st down for the Beat Diggers. They'll mark it at their own 37-yard line. Man in motion to the left. On 1st and 10, the handoff left side. That looks like it's Nate Hepner across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And it's a gain of 3. Lamar defensively sets up like this. On the line, Mike Caddick, Joe Herrera, Alexi Kelly, Shane Herrera. The 4 linebackers, Dalen Kerr, Tyrell Woodward, Angelo Valdez, and Robbie Wilcher. Tristan Osborne, Mike Bryant, and Brandon Cochran are in the secondary. The gain of 4 to the 41. It'll be 2nd down and 6 to go for the Diggers. The backs are split. Receiver in motion to the left. An inside handoff for Hepner and a big gainer across the 45 to the 47. He nearly broke it close to a 1st down as the tackle was made there by Lamar's Dalen Kerr, the 185-pound senior linebacker.
What Brush did on that play, John, was they had their flanker out here on the right side, and Joe Ginther put him in motion, and they made Lamar start thinking that he was going to crack back on a linebacker, and they were going to try to sweep the ball with Shiloh Briggs' excellent speed on the outside. So that forced Lamar to start watching the outside. It opened up the inside run for Nate Hepner.
Yeah, and right now, I wouldn't be surprised if They execute another inside run, third and less than a yard to go. Hebner left side, first down to the 50. He runs over a man. He's to the 46-yard line, and it's a gain of 7 for Nate Hebner and a Brush first down, and that's old-time Brush football.
You bet. You know, the one thing about Brush, the fullbacks have never been known for their speed. You know, they're just guys that can put their shoulders down and keep their shoulders in front of their knees and just power straight ahead for 5 and 6 yards a pop.
Yeah, we might not see much passing today by Brush, the way they're running the football so far. Man in motion to the left, first and 10 for the Lamar 46. There's a pitch left to Briggs, a shot to the outside of the 45, and he's down at the 43-yard line. An excellent open field tackle by the Lamar player, Jesus Fernandez. The 5'4", 135-pound freshman. You rarely see playing time out of a freshman, but the gain of 3 makes it second down and 7.
You bet. Just a Brush kind of put Kyle Temple in motion there, and they ran him in, and then they ran him back out, and they were able to hook the defensive end of the Savages and pick up 4 yards on that carry.
Second down and 7, Brush for the Lamar 43. In motion to the right, and now getting the handoff and running to the 40, to the outside of the 35, inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line is Bobby O'Kelly. A very well-executed play. It's a gain of 13 and a first down.
Yeah, O'Kelly right there went back to that offense that Brush has been running all year where they send their flanker in motion and Ginther turns around really fast and hands him the ball, and Lamar wasn't ready for that one after a big 13-yard carry.
Hebner and breaks in the backfield, first and 10 on the right hash mark from the Lamar 30. In motion to the right is Gutierrez. This will be a quick handoff to Briggs, right side. He stood up at the 28-yard line, but Angelo Valdez brings him down at the 27 because Briggs, like Hebner, a very tough runner, you can't tackle him too high, Dave. If not, they're going to gain extra yards.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, Shiloh is so fast and he's so powerful that if they're not sure-handed when they make that tackle, he's going to break it and just shoot right there, down there into the end zone before they know what happens to him.
The Beat Diggers have taken nearly 3 minutes off of game time on this drive. It's second down and 7 with the ball at the 27-yard line. In motion to the left is Gutierrez. Backs are split. Ginther is going to hand it off to Hebner left side. He's going to get a yard. That's about it. Gang tackling by the right side of that Lamar defensive line. Leading the charge on that play was Joe Herrera, the 6', 250-pound senior lineman. And will they give him a yard? Boy, maybe just a yard to the 26, but a tenuous one at that. And it's a third down and 6 situation.
And, you know, Lamar's running that 4-4 defense, and with the 4-4, you're going to see teams do a lot of blitzing, and that time Lamar guessed right, and they stuffed the hole up.
Third down and 6. The Beat Diggers from the Lamar 26. In motion to the left is Briggs. He'll get the handoff running left, a seam back towards the inside, and he's down at the 24-yard line. Boy, if that one player for Lamar and Joe Herrera, who's made a few tackles in this game already, doesn't make that play, perhaps Briggs is a first down. He only got 1 to the 25.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Shiloh, that time, you know, he cut it back up the middle because Lamar's defensive end did a pretty decent job of containing him. Had that defensive end not been there, Shiloh had the outside was wide open. If he got to the sideline, Shiloh could have been gone on that play.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he thought he had more daylight in the middle when he actually had more running room on the outside. 4th and 5, Beat Diggers at the 25. In motion to the right, O'Kelly. He gets the handoff, wants to sweep it outside. No running room. He's going to be nailed at the 26-yard line. We might have a face mask there as a penalty flag went down unless the Beat Digger was holding there. I did see some grabbing, but let's see what the penalty is all about. If it's against Brush, that'll be declined, and Lamar will have the football. It is a loss of 1. And the preliminary indication is going to be against the Beat Diggers, a block in the back apparently, and that should be declined, and Lamar will have the football on their own 26-yard line after that 1-yard loss. But nonetheless, Dave, a pretty good drive for Brush.
You bet. And part of this game, like we've said in the past, Brush football is keeping the other team's offense off the field. And Brush did just that with only 5 minutes left in the first quarter. They had the ball almost this whole first quarter. So as long as we have the ball, you know, they're not going to score.
4 minutes and 16 seconds of game time. Over a third of that quarter they took up. And that's what Brush wants to do. First and 10 for Lamar, moving right to left in their home black uniforms with the orange numerals and orange helmets. The lone setback is Joey Lucero. Valdez in motion to the right, gets the handoff on the end around. Very similar play that the Beat Diggers ran with O'Kelly, but nothing doing there. Brush is true to the test, and a lot of Beat Diggers in on that play. David Cummings, who's been leading the charge for the Beat Diggers much of the season, holds Lucero to what they'll call a 2-yard gain to the 28. They gave him some extra momentum there, and it's second down and 8.
You bet. The Diggers weren't fooled that time. Defensive end over there, Drew Tedford, came up with a real nice tackle just by staying home and and being ready.
From the 28-yard line, the backs are split. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. In motion is Angelo Valdez. The pitch left to Lucero. Swings it to the outside, but Neil Samples is right there. Boy, that was nearly helmet to helmet, shoulder pad to shoulder pad. He met his match there in Lucero, and Lucero lost that battle. It's a loss of 2.
You bet. Neil's just an excellent open field tackler. You know, he gets out there, he sets up, he doesn't leave his feet, he waits for the back to make his move, and then he gets his head in front and makes a nice tackle.
I mean, when you're not a big kid, Dave, it's all about fundamentals, technique.
You bet. You got to stay low. You got to shoot a real nice double leg, and that's something Neil's real good at.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. We know with that, 41-1 record last year in his junior year in wrestling. Third down and 10 at the 26-yard line for Lamar on their own side of the field. Lucero in motion to the right, a naked backfield. Walker back to pass to the 22. Over the middle, the pass is complete. And a first down across the 40 to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 17. And the pass was caught by Mike Bryant, the 6', 170-pound senior wide receiver. And he certainly, Walker did, thread the needle very nicely.
You bet. He just stood up real tall in the pocket. He threw the ball up there above his head and right over the top of his offensive line, and Bryant just ran a real nice little 5 to 7 yard post pattern over the middle, got behind the linebackers for a nice first down.
Lamar with the football at their own 43 as Angelo Valdez is in motion to the right. The handoff in the middle to Lucero. A big hole across the 50 into Beat Digger territory. Still on his feet, stumbling over ball carriers to the 35. It's a gain of 22 and a first down, and the Beat Diggers there with probably their one lap so far here defensively in the first quarter.
You bet. And again, what happened there is Lamar's got a lot of fakes going on in the backfield. They're making Brush think the ball's going out wide. And if the Brush people there on the inside, if the linebackers and linemen don't stay home and do their job, he's going to pop loose in the middle with those traps.
Yep, it looked like they definitely got sucked in by that fake end around. And the result was a 22-yard gain. Now Lamar is threatening as the Diggers were a few minutes ago. On the 35-yard line, left hash mark. This will be a handoff to Lucero up the middle. And he gets to about the 31-yard line. Corralling him and making the play was Adam Hinojos, the 6', 240-pound junior. Second down and 6. This will be the 6th play of the drive.
Yeah, nothing fancy. Lamar's just running the ball right up the middle and just challenging Brush to who's going to control the line of scrimmage.
They're kind of doing what Brush wants to do on offense and what Brush did on offense in their opening drive. Second down and 6 from the 31. Back to throw is Walker looking right. Heaves it down the sideline. That pass is going to be caught by Valdez all the way down to the 1-yard line. It's a big pickup of 26 yards. Check that. A pickup of 30 yards and a first and goal at the 1.
Yeah, he was wide open. Our cornerback sucked way up on that pattern. They had 2 receivers out there, and they ran their first receiver, and he ran a post, and our corner went with him while the other guy ran more of a chair pattern to the outside and just came wide open. And he was about 5 steps behind our cornerback, and hence a 30-yard pass play.
Yeah, you've got to credit Walker. A perfect throw there as Valdez just brought that football in. 2 men in the backfield. First and goal for the 1. In motion to the left, Valdez, and now we have a flag down. Let's see if they were, it's a legal procedure. That's what the penalty was against Lamar. So the Diggers get a mini break there. The ball will be back at the 6-yard line. And getting 6 yards looks like it could be easy on first and goal, but with the field so condensed, if the Beat Diggers can hold them down the first 2 plays, you never know what happens on a third down.
You bet. 6 yards is a long ways, and it's not very far out in the middle of the field. You get down close into the red zone, and 6 yards could be an eternity.
Lucero, the lone setback on first and goal. Valdez in motion to the left, hard count, and there was movement again by Lamar, and they're going to run the play left, and a loss of 2 by Lucero, who fumbles the football. He was down. Boy, a great tackle there. Josh Steele, who's a very intense player, as you know, Dave, just horse-collared him and brought him to the ground. They went through with the play. Now, I don't know if they illegal shift is the call. They did go through with the play. Now, if you're the Beat Diggers here, do you just decline that and make it second and goal from the 8 or first and goal from the 11?
Well, I don't know. This is just exactly what we were talking about in the pregame. Here we're moving them back. It looks like we're getting some penalties to help us out, whether it's first down, second down, and long. It seems like whenever we have them on their heels, it ends up scoring a touchdown. So I don't know here.
And Randy Dreitz has decided to take the play and not the penalty. I think it's the right call. Second and goal from the 8 on the left hash mark. And now the lone setback is Mike Caddick, a junior. You rarely see an 88 in the backfield, but that's the case for Lamar. 2:40 to go in the opening quarter. No score in the opening round of this 2A playoff game. Walker back to pass, looking right. Will heave it high towards the back corner of the end zone. It is incomplete. Broken up beautifully over there by Bobby O'Kelly, intended for Mike Bryant, and that was definitely a touchdown-saving play, Dave.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, O'Kelly was beat there again, too. And right when he got there, I thought he was going to go up in the air and go for the ball, but he was even a step further back because he wasn't in position to be able to do that. He had to make the hit, and you're right, it did save the touchdown.
Third down and goal, as Dave and I were talking about. Once you get it to third down, anything can happen here. The backs are split. Walker wants to pass at his 13, throws inside, incomplete. A little down and in pattern, again intended for Bryant at the goal line, defended by both Bobby O'Kelly and Neil Samples. It's fourth down, and Dave, on this field, it's not going to be easy to kick a field goal.
No, it's not. You know, the field, it's kind of, you know, there's a little bit of green out there, but that grass is looking pretty dry, and the field's looking pretty hard. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with here on fourth down.
Well, this is a classic example. You can't beat yourselves. They had a first and goal at the 1. They still have a shot here to score. They've got two receivers to the right, Valdez and Bryant. The man to the left is Matt Lira on fourth and goal for the 8. Back to pass is Walker. Pumps. Rolls to his right. Here comes the pressure. Gets away from the pressure. Still rolling towards the 15-yard line. Is going to throw on the run. Complete touchdown. Oh, in the right corner of the end zone. Caught. An 8-yard reception by Angelo Valdez, and Lamar takes the early 6-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, John, right when Walker got hit, he just got nailed, and right when he got hit is when he threw the ball. They were lucky to get that play off, and you have to give credit to Valdez. You know, as his quarterback was rolling and rolling and rolling, he made sure that he got open, and he made sure he was in the end zone, because had he caught the ball in the 1 or the 2, it wouldn't have been a touchdown. It would have just been brush ball, so
exactly.
Heads-up play by Lamar.
That's a smart receiver knowing where to run. The extra point will be attempted by Will McLean off the hold of Walker. McLean is a 5'9", 150-pound sophomore. There's the snap. It's down. McLean's kick is up, and McLean's kick is off to the left. 2:19 to go in the opening quarter. It's Lamar 6, Brush nothing on KSIR.
Back in studio here, 151. Let's get you caught up on a couple of other scores in 2A. Burlington leads Cedar Ridge 12-8 in 1A. All Akron over Custer County 21-0 as they go to the second quarter. Back out to you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It was a 10-play, 74-yard drive in 3 minutes and 36 seconds for Lamar. Jake Walker to Angelo Valdez on fourth and goal from the 8. And, Dave, that's the killer. If they score on first or second down, you figure, well, it just wasn't Brush's drive. But they had first and goal on the 1. Brush took them back 7 yards due to good defensive plays and Lamar penalties. And yet they came up with the goods on a great play by the Lamar quarterback on fourth down.
You bet. And, again, you know, Valdez is the one I really think made that play work because his quarterback was rolling, and he rolled right with him, and he made sure that he stayed in the end zone. He made sure that he got the most out of that pass. He made sure that he got the touchdown because that's all they could get.
Exactly, and that's going to be a short kick towards the left sideline. It's probably going to go out of bounds, and it does, so the Diggers will have the ball on their own 35-yard line, and very good field position to begin this drive for Brush with 2:19 to go in the opening quarter. But you don't panic if you're Brush. You're only down 6. It's only the first quarter. And the first time they had the ball, Dave, I thought they dominated the line of scrimmage.
You bet. And let me tell you something about this bunch of boys that are out there. You know, I've watched them, you know, I dropped by the baseball fields when they'd be playing B-Legion and all that when they were young kids, and nothing flashy, but they always figured out a way to win. And they're winners, you know, and don't count them out of this game yet because they're going to give it everything they got.
They don't have a 7-2 record for no reason. The receiver to the left is J.R. Finley. First and 10, Brush from their own 35, trailing 6-0. In motion to the right is Gutierrez. It'll be a handoff on the counter to Briggs across the middle, and he runs over a Savage. He punished him before he got to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 3, making it second down and 7. The tackle was eventually made by Tyrell Woodward, the 5'9", 185-pound junior defensive lineman. We've got an official's timeout. And once again, second down and 7 for Brush at their own 28-yard line. Checking into the game now is Drew Tedford. Out is Nate Hefner as well as Kyle Temple. And here comes Greg Geno into the game. And it looks like Coach Randy Dreitz, I don't know if he's going to be making personnel changes like this throughout the game, but it keeps bodies fresh. We know that, Dave.
You bet. It's nice to have fresh legs out there on the field. But I think Nate might have had an equipment problem there because I see him over on the bench there fixing something.
Gutierrez in motion to the right, 2nd and 7 for the 38. Briggs across the middle. He's closing in on a first down towards the 45, but he's down at the 44. It's a gain of 6 for the Beat Digger senior, and it took about 2 or 3 Savages to make the play, namely Jake Walker from his defensive back position, as well as Alexi Kelly, the 5'11", 200-pound senior defensive lineman.
Yeah, Shiloh, he just took the ball on a straight dive right there over the right side behind David Cummings, and I believe that's James Ginther blocking there, and he just lowered his shoulder and just ran real hard straight up the gut and picked up a nice 6 yards to give him 3rd and short.
3rd down and less than a yard. Gutierrez is in motion to the left. On 3rd down, the sneak by Ginther. Big hole up the middle. Valdez tackles him, but not before Ginther gets to the 49-yard line. They might backtrack it, but they'll give him the 49. A gain of 5 for the Beat Digger senior quarterback and a first down.
You know what? Joe did a great job on that play because, you know, Lamar had to have been watching the films the last couple of weeks, and that's something Brush has been doing, that little quarterback sneak. And right when Joe stepped up there, boy, the linebackers just flew up there behind their nose guard, and it looked like they had that all plugged up. Joe saw it, and he didn't try to go against the grain there. He just ran out here where there was nobody and picked up four extra yards.
Yeah, that's a big play for just a quarterback sneak. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Gutierrez in motion to the left. The inside handoff to Hebner. He's stuffed in the backfield. That's the definition of a solo tackle right there. Shane Herrera, the 6', 221-pound junior defensive lineman, makes the play, throws him for a loss of 1. If he doesn't get him, perhaps Hebner got some valuable yardage there, Dave.
You bet. And what happened there is, again, you know, out of that 4-4 defense, you know, that's a blitzing defense. They're sending linebackers. That time, the only person there to do any blocking was James Ginther, and he had 2 guys to block. And one guy can only block one guy. You can't take 2 of them, and the other guy made the tackle. So.
Exactly. 2nd down and 11 for Brush at their own 48-yard line. Finley, the receiver, to the left. The backs are split. Ginther under center is back to pass, looking to his left. Throwing short, it is off the right hand of Briggs at the 48-yard line. Incomplete. Defended out there by Tyrell Woodward, but safe to say, if that pass is a little bit lower, Briggs catches it, and he has plenty of running room down the left sideline.
Huge running room down the left sideline because he's got the wheels to run away from everybody. Joe just got a little bit too much air underneath that pass, and Shiloh could just barely get a hand on it.
This will be the last play of the opening quarter. 3 seconds to go with the Diggers trailing by a touchdown. Passing situation on 3rd down and 11. Officials timeout again. Hopefully not another equipment problem on Brush's side. No, it's actually on the defensive side for Lamar. A chin strap being put on right now. Kelly and Finley, the receivers to the left. To the right, you've got Briggs and Bobby Gutierrez. The lone setback is Nate Hebner on 3rd and 11. Brush from their own 48. Ginther, quick drop, looking middle. Is going to roll to his right. Wants to throw. Backing up. Now runs towards the middle at the 50. Seen to the 45. He stutter steps to the 40. Down the sideline, 35. Knocked out of bounds, a first down. Oh, that was beautiful by Joe Ginther. Tyrell Woodward made the play. It's a gain of 17. Make it 18. That closes out the first quarter. Lamar 6, Brush nothing on KSIR. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Savage Stadium in Lamar. The Beat Diggers are threatening now, trailing 6-0 is the score after the opening quarter. An 8-yard pass from Jake Walker to Angelo Valdez. The team still not out on the field for the beginning of quarter number 2. And with so many other playoff games taking place today in the state of Colorado, let's take it back to the studio. Kevin Schaefer with this game update.
All right, thanks, John. Just before 2 o'clock here on KSIR. In Class 2A, Eaton leads Denver 14-0. That game in the second quarter. Burlington continues to lead Cedar Edge 12-8. That game also in the second quarter. One 8-man score. Stratton pulling away from Fowler 34-12. And in 6-man, Crow Valley surprising Idalia early. It's 12-6. Back out to you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Here the Beat Diggers have the football at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, after an 18-yard scamper with some ballerina-like moves by Joe Ginther, the senior quarterback. In motion to the right now is Samples. Backs are split. The pitch left of Briggs. Gets a block by Deal to the outside of the 30, down the sideline 25, and he stumbles down at the 20. But another big gainer, 14 yards by Shiloh Briggs, and a Beat Digger first down.
You bet. And, you know, on that play right there, you have to give a lot of credit to the tight end and also Drew Tedford and also the blocking of Neil Samples because they just sealed it up on the inside. That allowed Shiloh to race to the sideline. And like we said before, if he can get to the sideline before anybody else, he's going to run away from people.
There's no doubt about it. He's a better athlete than most of the Lamar defensive players, as evidenced just by that run. In the backfield, Briggs and Hebner. In motion to the left, Gutierrez. 1st and 10 for the 20. Inside handoff, Hebner. Big hole up the middle of the 15. piggybacking Angelo Valdez as he gets to the 10. It's a gain of 10. He might be just a hair short of a first down. But again, Beat Digger football at its best, Dave.
You bet. And did you notice right there, they faked it to Shiloh on the outside, and Lamar is just on their heels. It's something Brush has been doing all year with the speed that Brush has. They got to worry about the outside. Brush makes the fake out there, then they just hand off the trap up the middle.
And you've got to love this situation here. Second and less than a yard to go from the 10. They can obviously take a gamble here and do something unconventional. In motion to the left is Gutierrez. Ginther is going to hand it off to Hepner inside, across the right side, burst down all the way to the 5-yard line. The tackle made by Alexi Kelly, but Nate Hepner just putting his head down and showing who's boss.
I'll tell you what, Nate Hepner just runs really hard, but, we're talking about Nate Hepner. We got to talk about that Brush offensive line because they are dominating things there. Ginther, Hinojos, Matt Manier, Josh Deal, and David Cummings, they're just controlling the line of scrimmage.
Hey, these guys are seniors, Dave. They don't want to be playing their last game today.
You're right, and these guys have been working hard all summer long for this season.
First and goal from the 5 with a back split in motion to the left. Once again, it's Gutierrez. Handoff. Hepner right side, driving towards the goal line. Touchdown for Nate Hepner from 5 yards out. The Diggers have tied the game at 6 with 10:34 to go in the opening half. And
I'll tell you what, here we are again. Another playoff situation, another situation just like last week, where it's real important to make that PAT or make the conversion. And Lamar missed theirs. This is a great opportunity for Brush to go up and make Lamar regret that for the rest of the game.
Let's see what happens here. Shiloh Briggs to attempt the extra point. By the way, that was a very effective 10-play drive for the Beat Diggers off the hold of Joe Ginther. There's the snap. It's down. Briggs will kick it, and it is going to be right in between the uprights. 10:34 to go. Second quarter. Brush 7, Lamar 6 on KSIR. 10 plays, 65 yards in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Nate Hepner from 5 yards out. Shiloh Briggs with the extra point. It's 7-6, and now his kickoff towards the right sideline. Bounces at the 19. It's a live football, and now goes out of bounds, and that's too bad. Lucero let it go at the 17-yard line, and Dave, that ball maybe got out of bounds by a few inches, and instead of the ball perhaps being at the 17, 18-yard line because Lucero was about to pick it up and about to be tackled, now they're at the 35.
Yep, and the ball landed, it dropped, it died there. This field's just in terrible shape. It's the winter. The winter conditions are really showing, but you saw that ball, it kind of rocked one time after it settled. That final rock just took it out of bounds probably by inches.
Well, apparently the Beat Diggers are going to re-kick this thing at their own 30-yard line, so that just amounts to a penalty here, 35-yard line, I should say, illegal procedure against the Beat Diggers, and I guess it's the same signal when the ball goes out of bounds, so Briggs will re-kick it.
I'll tell you what, if I was Lamar, I'd make Brush re-kick it, because our special teams this year on punt return or punting and kick offs, it hasn't been the best. A lot of teams have been able to make up some pretty big yards.
Yeah, and Shiloh doesn't have a monstrous foot. He's not going to kick it towards the 10-yard line. There, he booms that football towards the right sideline, out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And I don't think does Lamar have another option to have them re-kick it, or do they have to take it now at the 40?
Well, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen this situation, but Lamar's setting up like they're going to make him kick it again. And as long as Brush keeps kicking it out of bounds, I think Lamar's going to make him keep kicking it because we're getting closer and closer to our own end zone here.
Well, the bad thing about this is that you're going to be putting pressure on the Brush defense because Lamar will be playing with a short field. And I guess if you're Briggs right now, just try to kick the football in the middle of the field, maybe even squib it because, let's face it, Dave, if you're going to get a hop here and a tricky hop towards the 25, 30-yard line, it's going to happen, I think, more on a low-line drive or a squib kick as opposed to these higher kicks with more trajectory. But let's find out what happens. Briggs again, third opportunity. This one is a onside kick and fielded at the 43, and I don't think he intended it to be an onside kick. It was kind of a squib. He hit the top of the football, but corralled over there by Roman Chavez, and now it's 1st and 10 for Lamar at the Beat Digger 43.
Oh man, that is tough. I'll tell you what, just Lamar not taking the ball in the 35 was a heads-up call by them. They obviously scouted Brush pretty well with Brush's kickoff, but then to come off with missing the ball right there on that kickoff, this is huge. And you just said it, the Brush defense is backs against the wall, and there's some pressure on them here.
Naked backfield to start this drive. Two receivers to the left and right. Walker, the quarterback, has Lucero go in motion to the left on 1st and 10. Back to pass, Walker retreating at his 50, heaving it down the left sideline, man wide open, and Valdez has it at the 10, 5, touchdown for Angelo Valdez. A pass play of 43 yards, and just like that, Lamar is back in the lead. It is 12-7.
I'll tell you what, Bobby O'Kelly had coverage over there on that corner, and he just wasn't anywhere close. He's sucking up and biting on that post pattern that goes over the middle, and they're just running Valdez right around the outside and going deep. And O'Kelly, I hate to mention anybody's name on the radio, but he wasn't within 10 yards of the receiver.
Yeah, I mean, that was that reminded me of a play in Rifle a few years ago, 4 years ago, where a kid named Andy Johnson was about 30 yards wide open. Luckily, the good thing is that maybe history will repeat itself because Brush won that game. Now the extra point, and it's going to be a fake. They'll go for two. The throw into the end zone is dropped. Dropped by Bryant, defended by Deal and Ferrancini, as Jake Walker, the quarterback, who was also the holder, threw it towards the right side of the end zone. Incomplete. 10:24 to go, second quarter. Lamar 12, Brush 7. This is AM 1010 KSIR. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Savage Stadium in Lamar, where the Beat Diggers' lead lasted only 10 seconds. A 43-yard pass from Jake Walker to the unbelievably wide-open Angelo Valdez. Two-point conversion was no good. And now the short kickoff towards the sideline is dropped by Briggs. The football is loose, but he falls on it at the 34-yard line. He was running with so much momentum as he was trying to catch the football. Luckily, the ball didn't get too far away. And the Beat Diggers start off in pretty decent field position, Dave, and they've got to get that momentum back, because when you gain momentum and lose it at the snap of a finger, it can really deflate a team.
You bet. Sometimes that's worse than just losing momentum to begin with. You know, you kind of bust your hump to score after a long drive, and then all of a sudden just in one play to give up a touchdown. You know, that can just kill you. So it's real important Brush establishes their running game here again, and stay patient, don't lose faith, and just keep pounding the ball.
First and 10, Beat Diggers from their own 34-yard line, trailing 12-7. The backs are split. Gutierrez in motion to the left. The pitch right to Briggs. Tries to swing it to the outside. Got a hold of the 40. Flag is down. Right sideline 45. Knocked out of bounds across midfield to the 49-yard line. It would be a gain of 17, but I believe it's going to be coming back.
You bet. That official threw the flag right over here at our flanker, who was making the block, trying to seal that off on the inside. And you know it's a hold when the official throws the flag and hits you right in the head with it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, very much like Orlando Brown of the Cleveland Browns, who not only got hit in the helmet, but in the eye socket, which cost him his career. Now this football is going to go back inside the 30-yard line. Matter of fact, it probably will go back to the 24 if it's from the line of scrimmage, unless the holding occurred a little bit downfield, which it did. So it will amount to an 8-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It'll be first down and 18 for Brush. And no reason to think here that the Beat Diggers are going to go air. They still can run the football. They've been able to rattle on 5, 6, 7 yards on many of these running plays from the 26-yard line. The quarterback, Joe Ginter, in motion to the left is Samples. Play action, throw over the middle. Complete to Finley at the 43-yard line, short of a first down, but it's a gain of 17. The tackle was made by Jesus Fernandez, the freshman.
You bet. What a nice pattern. Well, it really wasn't even a pattern. It was just a slant pattern that Finley ran, and the Lamar defender was so far off and gave him such a big cushion. He was wide open, and I'll tell you what, that's tough when you're a quarterback and a guy's that wide open right in front of you to throw it in there, and
he didn't have to
did it.
Exactly. He didn't have to throw it high or low because, like you said, he had position on him. It's kind of like a guy getting a rebound in basketball. Second down and 1. Rush from their own 43-yard line. The back's now in an eye. The deep back is Briggs. In front of him is Hepner. The handoff to Briggs, right side. Now swings it to the outside of the 45. First down to the 50. Slips the tackle at the 45. Down the sideline to the 40. He's knocked out of bounds inside the 35 to about the 32. But another big gainer, 24 yards for Shiloh Briggs. And now the Diggers are regaining that momentum that they had just lost a second ago.
You bet. And Shiloh just showed what great athletic ability he has, and I want everybody to know at home, this field's slick. You know, when kids stop, you know, their feet are flying out from underneath them, but Shiloh, right there, he was able to stop. A bunch of Lamar guys just ran right past him, and then he took off running down the field again for just a huge 24-yard gain.
Yeah, they've given him an extra yard to the 31, so officially it'll go down as a 25-yard pickup for Shiloh Briggs, and if he can gain over 100 yards in this game, and even Hepner get close to that, That should equal a Beat Digger victory, but again, the defense has to do their job. 1st and 10 for the 31 of Lamar. Gutierrez in motion to the right. The inside handoff to Hepner. He pulls his way across the 25 to the 24. It's a gain of 7, a late fumble there, but they say that the play was dead as J.R. Finley fell on it anyway. They might not give him the 24. Let's see where the spot is. Nonetheless, it's a nice pickup for Nate Hepner. They'll give him the 24. We'll call it that gain of 7. 2nd down and 3, and now a very good situation for the Brush offense.
You bet, and just like you were saying earlier, the ability to run the ball, is going to win championships in high school football, and Hepner's already got 44 yards on 9 carries. Ginther's got 59 yards on 7.
Samples in motion to the right. The Diggers down by 5. Pitch left to Briggs. Tries to get a block, and he swings it to the outside, but he's down at the 22-yard line as he had some daylight but could not complete the deal. It's a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 1, and that was a perfect example, Dave, of the condition of this field, because I have a feeling that he wasn't tripped up at all.
Yeah, he slipped a little bit there, and you know what's bad is Josh Steele, the tackle, pulled out here on that play, and it was his job to make that block, but he was surprised that Shallow ran past the first guy, so he didn't bother blocking the second guy, and it was the second guy that made the tackle.
3rd down and 1. The Beat Diggers at the Lamar 22 with 8:05 to go in the second quarter. In motion to the left is Bobby Gutierrez, the quarterback keeper by Ginther. 1st down to the 20 as he went behind the right guard. The tackle was made by Tyrell Woodward, but not before the Beat Diggers pick up another 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Lamar had they had both or 2 of their 4 linebackers up on the line of scrimmage, and then they brought the other 2 right up there over center. I'll tell you what, the Brush coach is going to get a hold of that here in a second, pitch the ball outside, and it's going to be gone.
When it works every time, why do something different? Mix it up a little bit like they've been doing, and I'm very impressed by the way that Ginther fakes and then gives that inside handoff. It seems that the Lamar defense gets sucked in by that every time. 1st and 10 for the 20. Pitch right to Briggs, looking for a block. Gets 1 block, but not a second, and he's down at the 19. Upended over there. A nice tackle by Woodward. Alexi Kelly around the football. Only a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9. And, Dave, I guess when you pitch it to the outside, the blocking maybe has to be a little bit more there, and you have to hold your blocks a little bit longer because, after all, you're using more of the field.
Right, and, Shallow right there made the right decision. The outside was covered. He had to cut it up the middle, and Lamar just had people there to make the tackle. What they're doing is they moved their outside linebackers out wider.
2nd down and 9. In motion to the right is Gutierrez from the 19. An inside handoff to Hepner. Dives to the 15-yard line. That's one of the shorter gains for Hepner. Still a pretty good one. Travis Hall, the 6-foot, 185-pound junior linebacker, holds Hepner to a gain of 4. But 3rd down and 5 in a very manageable situation.
And all Brush did right there was they just ran it right behind their tackles. And the reason that's so wide open is because, like we said before, they're moving their outside linebackers out a little bit wider to stop the outside game, and that's going to open up the inside off-tackle game.
The Beat Diggers have held the football for almost 4 minutes, trailing 12-7 in the second quarter. Ginther play action, rolling to his right, looking middle, throwing, complete. 1st down to Samples at the 5, touchdown as he gets into the end zone. Ginther to Samples, a touchdown from 16 yards away, and the Diggers are back in the lead at 13-12.
I'll tell you what, that's real exciting, Judd, considering Brush's game is not throwing the ball. And the offensive line of Brush is doing a great job. Ginther's got all day to throw the ball. He's standing up real tall in the pocket, taking his time. Samples comes open, he throws it in there, and then Neal made sure he had the catch and just ran real hard for the touchdown.
Yep, officially a 15-yard pass play. Let's correct that. 15 yards from Ginther to Samples, but boy, a beautiful pass. Ginther will hold for Shiloh Briggs. This is an important extra point. The Diggers do lead by 1. He's going to fake it. Ginther's going to roll to his right, looking for a receiver. He's got nobody out there. Now wants to run the football, and he breaks a couple of tackles, and he's driving towards the goal line, but well short. Knocked out of bounds at around the 2-yard line, and not necessarily a bad play because the Beat Diggers are still in the lead anyway. They would have gone up by 2 with the extra point. Nonetheless, 13-12 Brush, 6:19 to go in the opening half. This is KSIR. 8 plays, 66 yards in 4 minutes and 3 seconds. And there's the kickoff to Valdez, who will hand it off on the right side of Lucero at the 23. And there's a fumble as he stripped. Ball is loose and picked up by the Beat Diggers. Down to the 18-yard line. The rush is a special teamer, Anthony Hurt. Dave, a huge play. I didn't see who stripped him there, but Lucero on the reverse was stripped, and Anthony Hurt recovered the football and ran it back 6 yards to to the 17-yard line, and we were apprehensive a little bit about the defense. They hadn't stopped Lamar in this game, but special teams took care of it right there.
You bet. That was huge. What happens is Lamar runs a little reverse in their backfield. They like to, if Valdez catches the ball, they cross back there, and then he handed the ball over there to Lucero, and Lucero took off running. I don't think he ever had real good control of the ball, and then alertly Brush picked it up and ran it down there.
1st and 10 for the 17. Gutierrez in motion to the right, hand off Hepner to the right side, back towards the middle, and he's so strong that he was hit at the 14, but gets to around the 12. We'll give him a gain of 5, tackled there by Tyrell Woodward. It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go, as we'll give him the 12.5-yard line.
John, with 5 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game, Brush is just going to be content to just run 3-4 yards a pop and just try to eat this second quarter time off the clock.
J.R. Finley, the receiver to the right. 2 men in the backfield, Hepner and Briggs on 2nd down and 5. The counter play to Briggs. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and driven down to the ground by Joe Herrera, the 6-foot, 250-pound senior. It's a loss of 2, but it'll be 3rd down and 7 from the 14. And Dave, just one of the very few plays that the Beat Diggers were not successful on.
Yeah, they just ran that little cross buck. For any of those diggers that are at home, that was a 43. So what they do is they fake it to the fullback, and then they hand it to the halfback coming back the other way, and Lamar just wasn't fooled by it.
I'm glad you explained that to our listeners, because I knew the cross buck. Not. But anyway, here we go. 3rd down and 7 for the 14. Beat Diggers at the Lamar side of the football field. Ginther, play action, rolling to his right, looking for a block from Briggs, gets it, still rolling, flag is down, throws on the run in the end zone, incomplete, knocked away at the goal line by Walker, and that threw the ball off the pattern. Neil Samples was wide open, and let's check out the flag, and let's see who that was against. And they're going to say illegal procedure against Brush, according to Ginther, that is. Let's see, it's illegal motion against Brush, and I would think here you decline the penalty and force Brush here to go for it. Obviously, they're not going to try a field goal in this situation with 4:51 to go. Or do they have to take the penalty because it occurred before the play? I don't get it, because the referee is starting to walk beyond. Let's see what they do here. I would think that's a penalty that you decline.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised that they let the play even happen. If the motion occurred before the snap, I'm surprised that they even let the kids play that one out.
Well, it goes down as an incomplete pass. It's 4th down and 7 from the 14. The Beat Diggers in the lead 13-12 on a 15-yard pass from Joe Ginther to Neil Samples. Brush trailed 6-0, led 7-6, trailed 12-7, lead 13-12. A roller coaster game and a big play. The very nervous Dave Urich hoping the Beat Diggers convert on 4th and 7. Ginther rolling to his right, setting up, throwing wide open, caught, touchdown! Touchdown by Kyle Temple from 14 yards away. The Diggers convert on 4th down, and they open up a 7-point lead. It's 19-12.
I cannot believe how well the Diggers are throwing the ball. I don't know what the coaching staff did or what the quarterbacks and receivers did this whole week, but for Brush to come out and take control of this game in the air like they're doing right now is just tremendous. And you can combine that with their running attack that they have, and they got a pretty powerful offense.
Shiloh Briggs to attempt the extra point. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up. It's off to the left, way off to the left. 4:45 to go in the second. The Diggers have scored the last 12 points of the game. They lead 19-12 on KSIR. Shiloh Briggs with a short kickoff. It's going to be caught at the 38-yard line to the 40. Across the 40, still on his feet to the 45. Breaking 3 tackles and now hit at the 47-yard line was Robbie Wilger, a return of 10. And once again, the pressure on the Brush defense because Lamar is going to be playing with a short field. This is the one negative thing that's happened to Brush this game. Probably 2 negative things. One is the extra points, Dave. Obviously, the last 2. One was a 2-point conversion off a fake. And then the kickoffs, they're not really giving their defense a chance to hold this team deep in Lamar territory.
Yeah, special teams have hurt Brush all year long in the kickoff arena.
Here we go, Lamar from their own 47-yard line with 4:38 to go. In motion to the right is Valdez. The inside handoff and a gain of maybe 1. Boy, tattooed was Lucero. And getting up and pumping his fist was David Cummings. Drew Tedford also in on the play after the gain of 1.
Just a huge tackle by Cummings. There was just a giant collision right behind their right tackle, and I'll tell you what, Cummings won that battle.
Hey, that hurt me. I mean, that thing, there was a lot of vibration on that hit. By the way, for the Beat Diggers, A 17-yard drive in 4 plays. Joe Ginther to Kyle Temple from 14 yards away. Ginther's second touchdown pass in the first half in the second quarter. And the Diggers lead 19-12. 2nd and 9. Lamar from their own 48. Quick drop. Walker looking left. He's going to pump. He's going to get hit. He gets away from a tackle. Still rolling to his right at the 40. Now throwing on the run down the sideline. That's going to go out of bounds. Out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. Intended for Mike Bryant and defended over there by Mitch Muniz. And let's face it, that had to be great secondary play, Dave, only because of the fact, what did he have? Nearly 8-9 seconds to throw, and now there's a roughing the passer against Brush.
Yeah, that's a shame, that call right there, especially because Brush had an opportunity to have him wrapped up there in the backfield, and he didn't go down right away, and guys just kind of stopped, expecting him to fall down, instead of pursuing over there and piling on to help out with the tackle. So that's a huge penalty right here, and Brush's back's against the wall.
Well, and when you look at what's happening so far, Brush has got a 7-point lead, and if you look at the flip side of the coin, in a way they're beating themselves because they could be up in this game by a couple of touchdowns, and perhaps that momentum will carry over, at least the things they've done positively, but I think Randy Dreitz is not too happy about what just happened there. He's calling his entire defense over to the sideline, and we'll go back to Kevin Schaefer with a game update while the Beat Diggers talk it over on their bench.
All right, thanks, John. 2:22 here on KSIR. In the 8-man rank, Stratton continues to put it to Fowler, 40-12. That game is now in the third quarter. Also going to the third in 2A. Burlington on top of Cedar Edge, still 12-8. Eaton continues to lead Kent Denver, that is, 14-0 in 1A. A couple of various schools in action. Akron putting it to Custer County, 28-zip at half. Also at half, Crowley County on top of Holyoke. That score 14-6. Back out to you, John.
Thank you, Kevin. John Beltran along with Dave Urich. Brush leads 19-12 in the opening round of this Class 2A playoff game from Lamar. The Diggers trailed 6-0 and 12-7, but have scored the last 2 touchdowns in this game, and now had a 15-yard personal foul penalty called on a hit, quite frankly, Dave, you or I never saw.
I'll tell you what, the quarterback, Walker, was attacking the line of scrimmage after he broke those tackles, and what happened was he got hit by a guy that thought he was going to be running the ball.
1st and 10, Lamar from the Brush 37, back to passes. Walker looking left, pumping, throwing it deep down the middle, and that's going to be incomplete over the head of the intended receiver at the 2-yard line. That looks like Mike Bryant, and check it. That's going to be Matt Lera, defended over there by Mitch Muniz. 2nd down and 10, and it's obvious by some of the plays that Lamar's running. They think they can expose the Beat Digger secondary.
You bet. They're throwing the ball. And their line's given Walker a lot of time to sit back there and pick out which receiver he wants to attack. And right there he got hit right when he started to release the ball again. But still, the receiver was open because he was behind our secondary.
2nd down and 10, Lamar from the Brush 37. 3:45 to go in the opening half. Naked backfield, receivers to the left and right. Lucero in motion to the left, has the handoff on the end around. Not much running room, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Great penetration over there by Matt Manier. Drew Tedford helped clean it up along with a couple of other Beat Diggers, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Drew Tedford with his defensive end position just did a great job of not over-pursuing or not trying to over-rush the quarterback. He just stayed home, and he forced Lucero to turn it back up the middle, and fortunately Brush had a lot of guys showing up for some force protection there.
Now let's see if the Diggers can get pressure on the quarterback. 3rd and 10. You know that Lamar's going to throw on this play. 2 receivers to the right in motion to the left, or actually the receiver to the left is Lera on 3rd and 10. Backs are split, back to pass, Walker, middle of the pocket, throwing right sideline, complete, 1st down to Bryant at the 28-yard line, and he's down to about, checked at the 22-yard line, and it's a gain of 14, make it 15 for Lamar and the wide receiver Bryant.
Walker's already got 115 yards in the air today on 11 attempts, so Lamar sure is strutting their stuff in their passing game.
And that time they came up big. They came up big with their first touchdown, a play from Valdez, thrown by Walker on 4th down. Lucero in the backfield, in motion to the right, Valdez. 1st and 10, Lamar from the 22. Play action, middle of the pocket, heaving it down the right sideline. A Beat Digger's out there, nearly intercepted by Muniz in the right corner of the end zone, intended over there for Matt Lera. And we do have a flag down just behind the line of scrimmage, and no indication yet. And our referee tells us, is that a chop block there? I'm not sure.
Yep, that's what that is.
Well, that's a 15-yarder, I believe.
Rush is going to send him back here. It's going to make it 1st and and 20 or first and 25. But the point is, there's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, and I think Brush just wants to make sure that Lamar's as far away from the end zone as they can get him.
Now, are we looking at a situation, Dave, here? They're going to throw the football. They've been successful throwing the football. Does Brush perhaps have to send maybe one or two more players, a linebacker blitz, or maybe even somebody from the secondary, or do you keep the standard defense right now?
Well, I think you definitely want to make sure you get pressure on that quarterback, but you don't want to sacrifice your secondary and give up a touchdown pass. So I think you just got to bend, but don't break.
First down and 29. In motion to the left is Valdez. Lamar at the Brush 41. Back to pass Walker, middle of the pocket. He's going to run the football to the 40. Knocked down at around the 38-yard line by David Cummings, and a good job by him. They'll give him the 37, pick up a 4, and it's second down and 25, although the board says third down. And I don't know, I guess the chop block maybe came with a loss of down. I had that it was
first down, too, when that happened, but it must have cost him a down.
Yeah, it must have cost him. You're right, it cost him a down. But nonetheless, hey, the Beat Diggers will take it. Third down and 25 from the 37. Now there's an official timeout, and I think that's what they're talking about, Dave.
They're trying to figure out where that other down came from.
And now they put second down on the board. I think they just want to clarify that on the sidelines. And, Randy Dreitz, who's to the left of the guy holding the chain that says third down, or the marker that says third down, would like him to keep it there. But obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, I want to talk about David Cummings on that last play. Just like you said, Brush sent a little bit of pressure. He's a linebacker. They sent him there on a blitz. He kind of faked it like he was going outside, and then he blitzed right back up the middle, and fortunately he was right there when Walker took off trying to run the ball. So good job for David Cummings out there.
Big play here. Second down and 25 for Lamar at the 37 of the Beat Diggers. 1:49 to go. They trail the Beat Diggers 19-12. Man in motion to the left. Walker's back to pass, setting up a screen to the right, and it is caught by Lucero, but his knee was down at the 41-yard line, and that amounts to a loss on the play, and it's going to take it back to third down and 29 again. He lost 4 yards.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was just it was a bad pass is what it was. He just threw it low, and he had to drop down to his knees to make the catch, and fortunately for the Diggers, that's going to make it third down for sure this time.
Yeah, it's actually at the 39, so correction, a loss of 2 at the 39, not the 41. But nonetheless, it's third down and 27. The clock is running. That's a good thing with 1:09 to go. And the Beat Diggers leading 19-12 on the right hash mark. Walker under center will snap it with about a minute remaining to go in the half. In motion to the left is Valdez. The lone setback, Lucero. Play action. Back to pass. Walker wants to throw. Here comes the pressure. Manier has him. Drags him down. He throws incomplete. I don't know if he was intending that for Bryant to the 30-yard line. I think he wanted to heave it downfield to Lira at about the 10 or 15-yard line, but Matt Manier came with the pressure, and let's face it, if the secondary is suspect, which they have been in the first half, you need the pressure by the defensive linemen and the linebackers.
You bet. That last play where Lamar had the ball and he rolled out over here and he threw that long pass down there and it was completed, that happened just because of Walker's ability to roll out and get rid of the ball on target. That time Matt Manier didn't lose the tackle. He held on for good luck.
Jake Walker standing at his own 49, about to punt the football for Lamar. Perfect snap. He gets it off towards the right sideline on the coffin corner, bounces at the 9-yard line, and it goes out of bounds inside the 5 to about the 2. A tremendous punt by Jake Walker. Let's see if they mark it at the 2. We're all the way across the field. He might have even got that down to the 1, and they're spotting it at the 1.
That ball rolled right along the sideline, and right before it got to the pylon, it just kind of trickled out of bounds.
It went to the outside.
A great punt.
Now, I don't know if Lamar has all 3 timeouts remaining, but obviously if you're Brush, you get the football to start the second half. Just go with your fullback, Hebner or Shiloh Briggs. I would not swing it to the outside here, Dave, with 44 seconds to go.
Me neither. Ginter just run it up the middle himself.
This is going to be a handoff. Hebner left side. He's got a small hole, but does get to about the 3 before he's wrapped up by Angelo Valdez. And did he give him the 4? Very close there. We'll give him a gain of 2. Lamar does call a timeout with 33 seconds to go. We'll take one as well. Brush 19, Lamar 12. This is KSIR. Well, the Savages will remember the Beat Diggers, and the Diggers can win this game today. They lead by a score of 19-12 with 33 seconds to go. I got a lot of remember the Titans there. With the ball at the 3-yard line, the Diggers just looking to run out the clock if they can here. There's a handoff to Hefner right side. Boy, he stood up big time right at the line of scrimmage by Alexi Kelly. And it's going to be 3rd down and 8 to go at the 3-yard line. Another timeout by Lamar with 25 seconds to go. And the question is here, do they have one more timeout? I think they might have another timeout. I'm not sure if Lamar called one earlier this half. We have no indication for the scoreboard to tell us so. But we will find out momentarily.
Tell you what, Lamar, they're sending their linebackers right up the middle because they were worried about Joe Ginther. The first play there, when the ball was on the 1, they handed it to Hefner here on the outside. If Hefner breaks that thing loose, there's nobody left in the secondary to make the tackle. Again, on that play right there, they guessed right that time because they blitzed the hole where Hefner was running. So it was a good guess on their defensive coordinator's part. But Lamar's taking some chances here trying to get the ball back.
If Hefner runs 98 yards, they're going to need about 6 oxygen tanks for him, I would think, Dave, if he gets into that end zone. Because he's a bruiser. 3rd down, and Ginther keeps the football, and a 1st down across the 15 to about the 18-yard line. It's a big pickup of 15, and just like that, Dave, they get the 1st down, and the Beat Diggers can now run out the clock and take a 1-touchdown lead into the locker room.
Yep, that was just the patented brush bootleg. They fake the trap up the middle, then they fake the off tackle to the outside with their halfback going the other way, and then Ginther just tucks it, puts it on his hip, and runs right around the corner. And Lamar chased the running backs all over the place, and Ginther got the 1st down. So good job, Brush. What a great call.
That's going to do it for the first half. The Beat Diggers lead the Lamar Savages 19-12. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. We're at halftime from Lamar. This is AM 1010 KSIR. We begin the second half here from Savage Stadium in Lamar, where the Beat Diggers are leading 19-12. We'll receive the opening kickoff. It's a short kick. It's going to be caught by O'Kelly at the 28. He's got a seam across the 35 to the 40. It's a return of 12 before the tackle was made by Angelo Valdez, along with Angel Gonzalez, the 6-foot, 155-pound senior. And the Beat Diggers set up shop at the 40-yard line. Can't complain with that field position, Dave.
No way. And, Brush made a real smart change there at halftime, a real smart adjustment by the coaching staff. They took Bobby O'Kelly from his deep position on the field, and they put him over here in this corner where they noticed Lamar's trying to kick the ball. They want O'Kelly to receive those kickoffs.
1st and 10, Brush with a football at their own 40-yard line. The lone setback is Hefner. O'Kelly in motion to the right. Hefner with the inside handoff runs into a Savage, but he ran into Tyrell Woodward at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4 for the senior, Nate Hefner, and it'll be 2nd down and 6. And Hefner's just one of many very special seniors in this group, Dave.
You bet. I'm so glad to see Nate out here. He's had an injury-plagued season, and good job for Geno, stepping in there and filling in for him. But it's neat to see Hefner out here playing what could be the final game of the season for the Diggers.
2nd down and 6. Samples in motion to the left, handoff to Hefner. This time he runs into another Savage at the 45-yard line, and Shane Herrera, but because he's so strong, he was able to gain an additional yard, a pickup of 2 to the 46-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Brush is just trying to power that ball straight ahead and set a precedence here in the second half that they're going to control the line of scrimmage. So real interesting what's going to happen here. Are they going to go outside wide again or just try to pound it back up the middle?
Well, they've been successful both ways, so it's going to be Lamar's guess, and the Beat Diggers know exactly what they're going to do. 3rd down and 4 from their own 46. In motion to the right is Gutierrez. Ginther under center will hand it off to Hefner right side. He's short of a 1st down. He gets to the 48-yard line, brought down to the ground by Dalen Kerr, the 5'9", 185-pound senior linebacker. 4th down and a long 2. And I don't know if Randy Dreitz is going to gamble this early, because this looks like the first to get the 30, maybe 40 points is going to win this game, Dave. I don't think defense is going to dictate what happens in the second half, because it certainly didn't dictate what happened in the first half.
You're right. I expect Brush to come out with their shift punt formation here and make that shift and try to drive Lamar off sides.
4th down and 2 from the 48. They've got to get to the other side of the 50. Ginther is going to keep it himself on the bootleg. He's going to get a 1st down to the 49. Still on his feet to the 40. A seam to the outside of the 30. Back towards the middle at the 25. He's down at around the 23. A huge pickup for Joe Ginther. A gain of 28 and a Beat Digger 1st down.
I don't believe it. I'll tell you what, that is a gutsy call to coaching staff's a bunch of gamblers. I'll tell you, got Dreitz and Dillahay. They're both gambling kind of guys, but they knew. That's why they're the coaches. They know what's going on out there. They made a great call here. We were talking about how they shouldn't do that, how they ought to probably punt it and play smart, but they knew that was a play that was going to put Brush down there in the scoring position.
Yeah, let's face it, Lamar has not been able to stop Brush all day long. 1st and 10, Beat Diggers from the 24. In motion to the right is Neal Samples, a pitch left to Briggs. He gets a block from Deal to the outside of the 20, back to the middle at the 15. He spins to the 10. It's 1st and goal for the Diggers. Hard running by Shiloh Briggs. Give him 15 more for the senior.
75 yards on the day for Shiloh Briggs on 11 attempts. So, he's cranking out well over 6 yards of carry, and that's a nice thing.
Let me tell you, I think J.R. Finley has a horrendous cramp because he just fell down to the ground as he was going back towards the huddle. He's on his stomach. A Savage is also down in the play. I mean, he literally just collapsed on the ground, and it looks like a cramp from this vantage point because I think he was actually up, and now we have...
They need to get a doctor out there, John. I think there's something kind of twisty looking going on there with his knee, and I see the coaches trying to get a doctor out there on the field.
You're right. I think it's a lot worse than a cramp. He just went down to the ground. I thought he got up. I saw peripherally that he was getting up, but look at how many people are out there, Dave. That's a serious injury. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Back in 60 seconds, the Beat Diggers in the lead 19-12 over Lamar with 9:29 to go in the third quarter on KSIR. Back from Savage Stadium in Lamar, where the Beat Diggers lead 19-12. And, Dave, that injury to Finley is a lot worse than a cramp. This has required an ambulance.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they drove that ambulance right out there on the field. You got to say thanks to the Lamar people. And Greg Eady, he's a wrestling coach down there. He's the athletic director that's doing the job of setting this up. He's got an ambulance right there ready to go, and they're tending to him. And it looks something wacky there's going on because I agree with you. He stood up, and he took a couple of steps, but that second step, something gave.
Well, I hate for you to do this, but I guess without being too gory about it, because we were talking about it off air, exactly how did you see that injury? Because obviously it looked very unnatural.
Yeah, his leg, one of his legs, his right leg, I think it is, looks like it was kind of turned a little bit of the wrong way. So, I don't want to alert anybody by giving any false information to anybody at home, but calling it like I see it, something wacky there's going on with his knee or his leg or his ankle.
It's safe to say he's got to have some tear somewhere or a fracture, perhaps even a compound fracture, because rarely, Dave, do we see an ambulance at any football game, and usually when it requires that, obviously he's going to be carried off on a stretcher. And it's very, very sad because Finley's a guy who's a major contributor to this team. He had a big catch in the first half, and he's been a big player all year in the passing game, and it's just the Beat Diggers now are just going to have to rally around this kid. And this is just one of the many rallying points that a team goes through throughout the course of the season when their character's being tested, and no bigger rallying point for a team to get around than when a player goes down like this.
Yeah, and, JR did. He had a real nice catch there in the first half, for 17 yards, and it was a situation they needed to have a big catch because they had a big penalty before that was making it 2nd and long, and JR made that nice catch, and he's been there working hard throughout the season, throughout the summer. It's just a sad thing to have happen, but it's the essence of the sport. There's going to be a few injuries, and you just got to hope that it's not you.
Yeah, the Lamar player is off the field, but J.R. Finley is still being attended to. And the Beat Diggers lead 19-12 with 9:29 to go in the third. They received the opening kickoff in the second half. They were able to get a couple of first downs. Most recently, that last play, a 15-yard run by Shiloh Briggs. That was preceded by a 4th and 2 in which Joe Ginther traveled 28 yards all the way down to the 24-yard line. And I imagine that this will take a while before they get Finley off the field because this is such a sensitive injury, even though we do not know what it is. Obviously, they have to stabilize that body part.
Yeah, they threw the splint out there, one of those air splints. They threw it out there right next to him, and it looked like they were getting ready to put that on his body. And tell you what, they're still tending to him. The coaches are still out there. The officials are all standing around. Lamar players are over here on their sideline, and all the Brush players are over standing by their sideline, and the Brush crowd is all standing up and looking over there, and they're all worried about JR and hoping that he's going to be all right.
1st and goal for Brush. The football at the 9-yard line, moving right to left from our vantage point as now the clock continues to roll. The back's in an eye. Ginther is going to hand it off to Briggs, right side to the 7-yard line, maybe, before he is stood up and driven back and driven down to the ground by Joe Herrera. And let's see, they'll just give him the 8. We'll give him a yard on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Brush comes out without a huddle here. You know, they're just going to get up on the line of scrimmage and get after him.
3 men in the backfield. Ginther, play action, rolling right in the bootleg. Wants to run. He's going to have nothing unless he can get out of a hole. He can't. He's down at the 10-yard line. A loss of 2. And it is 3rd down and goal for the 10. And I don't know. I think that call maybe surprised me. I thought they just run the football because they have run that bootleg on maybe 3rd and 4th down plays, but not on 2nd down.
Yeah, and you know, that's something that you got to set up. And after you burn, it seems like after you burn a team with a play a few times, they get wise to it. And I think Lamar might have been wise to it in that situation.
No doubt about it. The clock now reads 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Beat Diggers in the lead, 19-12, but maybe a passing situation. 3rd and goal for the 10. Backs are split. Ginther, play action, looking middle, throwing over the middle. It is complete. Touchdown! The 3rd touchdown pass by Joe Ginther. This one to Bobby Gutierrez. Brush now leads 25-12.
If you would have told me before this football game that Ginther would throw 3 touchdown passes,
I'd be rich.
I'll tell you what, you would be rich because I would have just about bet my house. And the Digger offensive line is doing a great job with their passing, and the receivers are running good patterns. And Ginther's just threading the needle. He's on the money today.
How about 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I'm just so happy for the Diggers, you know, to capitalize here when things weren't looking so good.
Extra point by Briggs is up and good inside the left upright. 8:08 to go, 3rd quarter. Brush has now opened up a 2-touchdown lead, 26-12 over Lamar on AM 1010 KSIR. And a short kick fielded to the 25 by Lucero. And there's a fumble. The ball is loose but picked up by a Lamar player as Lucero was trying to hand it off to Angelo Valdez. Recovered there by Travis Hall. And sometimes when you, like you said, when you use up a play too much, the other team gets wise. Even though Brush didn't recover the fumble there, even had that handoff been made, I saw the Beat Diggers pretty much containing that play.
Yeah, it looked like the guys that are, on a kickoff team, you're very outside wide people. They're responsible for containment, and Brush had plenty of containment on that kickoff.
1st and 10 for Lamar at their own 24-yard line, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Walker to throw. Heaves it left sideline, complete at the 30-yard line, down at the 32. And that was over there, I believe, to Bryant. It was. Neil Samples in on the play, a gain of 8. And you know that Lamar is going to rely on going up top and through the air in order to try to get back into this ball game.
And if you're the Digger defense, that's something you like because, you know, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen. 2 of those are bad. And if you have to rely on the passing game in high school football, you're in trouble.
The ball just shy of the 32, 2nd down and 2 for Lamar at their own 32. Back to pass again, Walker pumps, rolling to his left. Now he'll throw it left sideline, incomplete over the head of Bryant at the 47-yard line. Bobby O'Kelly over there along with Neil Samples. The Beat Diggers' most recent drive was 8 plays, 60 yards in 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And as Dave said it, Joe Ginther with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. This one to Bobby Gutierrez, his first 2 to Neil Samples, and then to Kyle Temple. Not only has he thrown 3 touchdown passes, but the last 3 times the Beat Diggers have had the football, they've had 3 touchdown passes. An amazing run.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about Joe throwing the ball because he's throwing the ball great. It's just that I don't have much confidence in the passing game because they don't use it that often.
3rd down and 2 from the 32. Valdez in motion to the right. Walker on the end around to Valdez, hit at the 34-yard line, but they're going to give him a 1st down with a pretty good spot. I think Josh Deal made the initial hit. David Cummings around the football, but pretty good spot right there, Dave, because it looked like he was hit at around the 33.5-yard line, but that is a gain of 2. And, boy, they'll give him the 35, really. Gain of 3 and a 1st down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was an excellent spot that Lamar got right there. But, still, Brush held him to 3 yards on a carry. It was kind of an end-around play. That's a play that could have been broke for, 60 yards for a touchdown, and it wasn't. They stopped him for 3 yards, and that's the name of the game now. You're up by 2 touchdowns. Make them take all the time off the clock they have to take if they're going to score.
1st down and 10 for Lamar at their own 35. 3 receivers set to the right, 1 to the left. Lucero, the lone setback. Hard count by Walker, handoff up the middle to Lucero, and he is pinned after a 2-yard gain by David Cummings at the 37-yard line, setting up a 2nd down and 8, and that's the way a linebacker has to play in this Digger defense.
You bet. Another guy that was in there was Jared Marwitz. He shot through on the right side of the center over there, and Marwitz just wreaked havoc there on the inside of that line. So Jared's playing a great game, a senior nose guard. Had an injury at the beginning of the season with his collarbone. Bounced back and played some really solid defense this year for Brush.
The receiver to the left is Matt Lira. Again, 3 to the right. Lucero, the lone setback. 2nd down and 8. Walker to pass, looking, throwing right. It's incomplete. Nearly picked off by O'Kelly at the 47-yard line. It was thrown behind Bryant at the 50-yard line. Mike Bryant was open, but somehow that little hook pattern on the inside, that little slant pattern, was not read by Walker, or either that or Bryant just ran too far. I don't know what happened there, but it looked like the pass was actually intended for O'Kelly because he nearly had an interception on the ground.
Yeah, that ball just real fast one-hop to O'Kelly. O'Kelly caught it, tried to put on a pretty good acting show to try to get the interception, and the officials alertly saw that he never caught it. But, I don't know. I think he just threw the ball. I think Walker just threw the ball in the middle, hoping somebody'd catch it.
3rd down and 8 for the 37. Lamar on their own side of the field. Walker to throw, standing at his 30, throws. It's complete at the 49-yard line to Bryant. First down as he crosses the 50 to the 48. Neil Samples made the play, but that is a very valuable pickup of 15 yards for the Savages, and they are in Beat Digger territory, and that's a huge play for Lamar because if they were down by 2 touchdowns as they are now and had to punt, Brush could easily chew up time and take a 2-touchdown lead into the 4th quarter.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, we got to eat the clock. Brush has definitely got to eat the clock, but there's a lot of football game left here, and 2 touchdowns isn't a comfortable lead.
Exactly. Lining up on the right hash mark. 1st and 10, Lamar at the Brush 48. Backs are split. Back to passes Walker. Deep drop, pumps. He's got pressure. He's going to be sacked. He fumbles the football. He falls on it at the 49-yard line, but nearly getting to that football was Jared Marwitz, just a step and a half away. Nonetheless, that's going to be a loss of 3 yards on the play, and the Diggers, now they'll mark it back at the 48, 2nd down and 14, so we give them a -4, and that Digger defense coming up with the inside pressure.
You bet. We got pressure on Walker, and, remember in the first quarter, that's not something we had, and Lamar was able to throw the ball pretty much at will, and now we're getting some pressure up the middle. DBs are doing a good job with their pass coverage. Things are coming together for the defense.
Quick drop by Walker over the middle, complete to Lira, who has spun around and driving for a first down. He's got it at the 38-yard line on a 2nd and 14. He got 14, and Lamar continues this drive, getting into Digger territory even deeper.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Drew Tedford was really fired up because he didn't make the tackle on that play, but he sure did get a good lick on him right there, and had he made the tackle, they still would have had 8 yards on that pass reception. He didn't get the tackle. They only picked up 10, but big hit by Tedford, and I think next time Lara's going to be thinking twice when he goes to catch the ball.
Valdez, the outside receiver to the left, along with Bryant. Lucero, the outside receiver to the right, along with Lira. Naked backfield, Valdez in motion to the right. This is going to be a keeper off the fake handoff and a gain of 1 by the quarterback, Jake Walker, down to the 37. Matt Manier around the football, as well as a couple of other beat diggers. I don't know if that play was busted. It just didn't look like it was a natural play because he did fake the handoff and then took a half spin like he was in that Akron Rams single wing offense.
Yeah, that is what it looked like there, and I don't know if it was a missed handoff or what, but who cares? It's 2nd and 9, and we're just interested in getting the ball back here.
And the clock is running with 4:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Brush leading Lamar 26-12. They have scored 19 unanswered points. Everybody bunched in tight on that Lamar offense. To the right is Robbie Wilger. Receiver in motion to the left now is Valdez. The handoff up the middle to Lucero. He drives to the 35. It's a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 7. And did you see something, Dave?
I thought we might have had a fumble on that right there at the end, and it looks like a Digger came up with the ball, but the official said that he was down already, held him to 2 yards.
Update.
3rd down and 7 for the 35 as Walker gets the play in from the sidelines. We have other games taking place today. 6-man, 8-man, Class A and 2A playoffs. We'll have an update shortly with Kevin Schaefer on 3rd down and 7. Lamar for the Brush 35 with 3:18 to go in the 3rd with a back split. Back to pass Walker. He'll throw it out on the screen on the wide receiver to Valdez. He is tackled at the 30-yard line by Bobby O'Kelly. It's a pickup of 5, a 4th down and 2 decision here for Lamar. And before they make that decision, we go back to the studio. Kevin Schaefer with a game update.
Quickly, guys, Burlington is a final. They defeated Cedar Ridge 27-8. Akron rolling Custer County 41-0 in the 4th. And Kit Carson in 6-man drilled Bethune 62-6. That game a final as well. Back out to you.
Meanwhile, a huge play for the Digger defense, winning right now by 14, 2:43 to go in the third, 26-12. Fourth down and 2 for Lamar at the brush 30 on the right hash mark. Lucero in the backfield along with Wilcher. In motion to the left is Valdez. It'll be a handoff to Lucero up the middle. First down, still on his feet, down to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 10.
Yeah, what happened, Lamar brought the Valdez in motion here from the right side, and they had two tight ends. They brought him in motion. As soon as he got behind the tackle on the far side, they hiked the ball, and he was a lead blocker for Lucero. Lucero just put his head down and ran, and to be honest with you, I think Lucero thought he was going to get tackled because he didn't know that he was in the wide open field. If he had had his head up, I think he would have been able to trot into the end zone.
Valdez in motion to the left for the 20. The handoff again to Lucero, tripped up by Benier, but he slipped past that tackle, but he only got to the 19-yard line as other diggers were there to contain him. A gain of 1 and second down and 9, and it looked like they ran the same play there, Dave.
Yeah, I think it was the exact same play, and it's kind of weird because as soon as Valdez gets behind the quarterback and they snap the ball, you can't really even see Lucero take that handoff, and I don't know if the digger linebackers and the DBs can see who has the ball back there. It's a pretty exciting little offense.
Lamar's had the ball for over 6 minutes. Second down and 9 from the 19 in digger territory. Valdez is in motion to the right, running past Lucero. The pitch right to Lucero doesn't have much. He loses yardage. A fumble on the play, but they're going to say he was down. I don't know about that. Neil Samples recovered the fumble. It's a loss of 3 back to the 22-yard line, and I wonder if that was premature, Dave, or he actually fumbled the ball with his knee down.
I'll tell you what, I thought it was a fumble, but I got to give credit to Neil Samples again at a strong safety position. Just flew up there. It was a designed pitch out where they just, they're just making it clear they're going to run the ball down the sideline and get it outside. And Neil just stood his ground. He broke down, made the nice tackle, and just about came up with the fumble.
Third down and 12 to go for the digger 22. The lone setback is Wilcher. In motion to the left is Lucero. Now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back to pass Walker, looking left, throwing underneath. It looked like that was one hop, but they're going to call that a catch, I believe, to Lucero, only to the 21-yard line. And, give him the catch, Dave. It's only 1 yard. It's fourth down, and the clock runs.
Yeah, exactly. It's just exciting to keep that clock running, and it's fourth and long. So everything's in favor of the diggers. The only negative there was the fact that he didn't catch the ball. It bounced, and, if you're a brush speed digger defensive player, that kind of makes you mad that they got credit for something that wasn't theirs.
Yep, and actually they didn't even get a yard. It looks like they got maybe half a yard, so it's still fourth down and 12 now. With 15 seconds to go in the third, the Diggers up 26-12, easily the biggest play of the game right now. One man in the backfield. Walker wants to throw. Deep drop, looking right, pumping, throwing towards the right corner of the end zone. That looks like offensive interference over the head of the intended receiver, Angelo Valdez, pushing off on O'Kelly. It will be offensive interference, and Dave, obviously that's going to be declined.
You bet. Brush is going to decline that penalty, and, they're going after Bobby O'Kelly because he's the guy that blew his coverage in the first half, and they think that Valdez can beat him. That time O'Kelly did a great job. He settled into his position there. He stayed in between the receiver and the quarterback, and when the ball came down, he was the one that was in the best position to catch the ball.
I love Josh Deal. This guy is right in the referee's face like a true captain, giving him the decline signal, making sure, hey, I'm buddies with you. We're doing the best we can here. We'll get the football, and let's run out the third quarter. And right now, if you're Brush, what a reward to play defense for 7 minutes and 56 seconds only to see Lamar turn the football over on downs.
You bet. The only thing that can make this sweeter now for the defense is if the offense can get some momentum going with their ground game, just chew up the clock, drive it all the way down the field, and score a touchdown and pound some of the last nails in this coffin.
Well, it looks like that they're walking off the penalty yardage, and the Diggers have the football. That's even a better reward because it shortens the field.
You bet the Diggers were going to get the ball on about the 25 or so. Now they got the ball on the 37, so great opportunity for the Diggers here to finish them off.
With only 4 seconds to go in the third. And now we have an official's timeout. I mean, you wonder if they can do that, but they are. Okay, I thought they were going to talk about that now. Leading 26-12, the backs are split. Samples in motion to the right, an inside handoff to Hefner, hit at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down. He may have lost a yard. A collapsing defense over there by Lamar. That's the end of the third quarter. Brush 26, Lamar 12. Back for the final 12 minutes in 1 minute on KSIR. Sean Beltran, Dave Urig at Savage Stadium in Lamar, where the Beat Diggers lead 26-12 going into the fourth quarter, outscoring Lamar in that third quarter by a 7-0 count. on Joe Ginther's third touchdown pass of the game. And every time we say that, Dave, it seems a little bit more unbelievable.
I know it, but getting back here into the moment here, Brush just needs no turnovers, no stupid penalties, and some first downs.
Second down at 11 from their own 36. Breaks in motion to the left. Hebner handoff up the middle, left side, first down to the 45, swinging it to the outside as he's ankle tackled by Walker at the 47-yard line. And that is a beautiful gain of 11 yards for Nate Hebner.
Yeah, just the Brush trap, the famous trap that they've ran for years and years. Hebner just runs right behind the trap that James Ginther did right there. He's the right guard. He pulled to the left side. They give Hebner the ball on the right side of the quarterback, and then he just follows that guard and ran for 10 yards.
And they don't need to score here because if they can chew up some clock, as you said, that would accomplish one goal. But I don't see Brush punting anytime soon. In motion to the right is O'Kelly. First and 10 from their 47. And a collision between Ginther and the running back. Ginther now keeps the football as he caught it off a little collision, and he's down at the 46-yard line. And obviously just a big problem there, a busted play.
You bet. That's miscommunication and a loss of focus, and just about resulted in a fumble. And that's something the Diggers can't afford to have happen here.
Yeah, Ginther has done so well trying to fake out this Lamar defense with counter plays, and I think it was Hebner that he collided with on that play.
Yeah.
And that is very rare considering that those two have been very, very smooth today. Hebner the lone setback. Couple of receivers to the left. Now O'Kelly in motion. Back to pass Ginther over the middle. Complete. And short of a first down to Kyle Temple at the 46-yard line. Nonetheless, they got 8 yards on the play. And now it's third down and only 3. And again, as we said before, that's what Brush has been doing today, getting into third and short situations, extremely manageable situations.
You bet. And right there on that play, what happened was Lamar's starting to send some more linebackers. And there's no linebackers back there. So what Brush does is they fake the handoff, and then they just send Temple from his tight end position right there behind the linebackers and throw a little dump to him.
Third and 3 for the Lamar 46-yard line. Ginther's going to keep it himself and go nowhere. Hit at the 49-yard line on his own side of the field, losing 5 yards. And that was read beautifully by a couple of those savages who really thought that Ginther was going to run the ball because obviously they weren't looking at anybody else on that Brush backfield.
Yeah, missed block, and then they're sending linebackers. Linebackers look like heroes when they're on a blitz and nobody picks them up, and that's what happened right there.
Well, I shouldn't have said that Brush is not going to punt anytime soon because I just jinxed them, and there is a punt upcoming now. And there's the high snap, and Goddenas gets it off. This is going to be a short kick. It'll bounce at the 26-yard line, take a beat digger bounce inside the 25 to about the 22, and that's where this Lamar team will set up shop.
Tell you what, that was scary right there, John, because a lot of that happened in one of our junior high games, and I know I've seen it happen at the college level where a guy that's on the punt team runs down there and he just puts his hand on the ball and just walks off. Well, that ball's not dead as long as it's still wiggling a little bit. And if the official hasn't blown the whistle, it's a live ball. So all the Diggers are standing around there looking at the ball. A Lamar guy could have picked it up and just ran right past him all the way down the field for a touchdown. Alertly, Drew Tedford went over there and picked the ball up and handed it to the official.
A punt of 29 yards, now with 9:34 to go in the game. The quarterback, Jake Walker, under center in motion to the right. Valdez. Walker will roll to his left, wanting to throw. Has Bryant underneath. Will throw the ball to Bryant, incomplete. Off his hands at the 39-yard line on the left sideline. Well defended by Bobby O'Kelly, who certainly has picked up his game, Dave.
You bet. And also Kyle Temple came from his defensive end position there, just had a ton of pressure on Walker, and Walker ended up on the ground right after he threw the ball. It was a good play by Temple, no roughing the passer, and one of those situations where Walker's going to remember that. When he lets go of the ball, he better plan on getting hit.
With all this pressure that the Digger defense is putting on Walker, he's been pretty much infallible. You smell that there could be an interception sometime soon because now the Diggers are ready for them to pass on every down.
Exactly. And, when you start to press, you've seen this in basketball, 1,000 times. It's a really close game. A team's been trying to catch up, and then all of a sudden they have to start making things happen. That's when mistakes happen, and it plays into the favor of the other team.
Second down and 10 for the 22. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 setback. The throw to the right, incomplete. Actually to the left, intended for Matt Lira at the 29-yard line on a little slant pattern, defended over there by David Cummings. And it appeared there, as it has been the case before, that some of these timing patterns are not well timed by Lamar.
Right, and you know, there's a mental part of all these high school sports, and football is one of them. I know I see it in wrestling all the time. Right now I'm starting to see a lot of the Lamar kids starting to throw their hands up in the air. When they make a mistake, they throw their hands up in the air like, what am I doing wrong? Or, Coach, it's not my fault, or something like that. That time I saw Walker throw his hands up in the air, and that's a good sign for Brush.
3rd down and 10 from their own 22. Quick drop of Pompey, drops the football. Walker picks it up. It's loose again. I think the Beat Diggers might have jumped on it at the 14-yard line. Matt Manier pointing the Beat Diggers' way. They'll unpile the bodies. Brush is going to have the football, according to them, and according to the referee. It is recovered over there. Is that Jared Marwitz coming up with the goods? I think it was, Dave.
You bet. Jared Marwitz applying some pressure on Walker. Walker came out from underneath the quarterback. I don't think he really had out from underneath the center, and I don't think he really had a good handle on the ball. And he was kind of bobbling it and tripping. Pretty soon the ball ended up on the ground, and Marwitz was right there to fall on it.
Now the Beat Diggers have the football at the 14, and you've got the same smile now that you had when you were 5 years old, just waiting for that candy.
You betcha. This is a great opportunity for Brush to just punch it in the end zone here real quick and pound the last nail in the coffin.
1st and 10 from the Lamar 14, leading 26-12 in the 4th quarter. Bobby O'Kelly gets the end around. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and the play was made over there beautifully by Alexi Kelly, the 5'11", 200-pound senior defensive lineman. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Again, no gain for Bobby O'Kelly on that end around. We are under 9 minutes to go from Lamar.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that number 71, for Lamar, he was right there, Alex Kelly, and I'll tell you what, he was right there. He made the big tackle, and that's not something Brush was hoping for there. I think Brush was hoping they could stick it in the end zone just real fast on this one.
The lone setback is Hepner. In motion to the left is Briggs. Handoff, Hepner, big hole right side of the 10, runs over a man at the 5. He's got a first down to around the 3, a gain of 11. And if it wasn't for Angelo Valdez, Hepner would be celebrating his first touchdown of the game.
You bet, and that takes Hepner to 86 yards today on 19 carries, and Brush is just running right at him. They're asserting their dominance on the line of scrimmage. The offensive line are the guys right here that are the heroes for Brush because they're the ones that are going to win the game here.
Yeah, let me point out that Hepner did score the opening touchdown for Brush from 5 yards out. They're now at the 3-yard line, and they could take a 3-touchdown advantage perhaps on the next play.
Look at that. They got Geno and Hepner in the backfield now.
1st and goal from the 3. Ginther turns around, handoff Geno, left side. He drives to about the 1. A gain of 2.
Boy, that's huge. You got Hepner and Geno in the backfield. You talk about opportunity to run with some power.
J.J. Lopez makes the play for Lamar, and it is 2nd down and goal from the 1. The Beat Digger crowd can smell it across the way. A home game a week from today. 26-12 right now, and we said it'd be the first to 30, and there's no way that Lamar's going to get there first unless Brush absolutely collapses. 2nd and goal for the 1. Baxton and Hepner in front of Briggs. Ginther hands off. Briggs right side, touchdown for the Beat Diggers. He pulled his way into the end zone, getting by a defensive lineman for the Savages. The Diggers lead by 20 from Lamar. It's 32-12.
A flag just came down on the field right over there. The officials are talking to some of the Savages, and again, I think we're in a situation here where Lamar's losing some composure and starting to throw their hands up in the air and losing the game physically. Now they're starting to lose it mentally.
By the way, if you don't hear that overwhelming crowd in the background, Dave and I are behind the windows. It's a very chilly day, Dave, and we wanted to have some very comfortable accommodations.
Oh, I am so thankful, John. I'm so thankful that we're sitting up here and we're not sitting out there because I can tell it's getting a little bit more wet and a little bit more wet. It's not a rain that's coming down. It's just a mist that's kind of just in the air.
Yeah, sometimes it's almost worse.
Yeah, these people out here, I can tell they're soaked through and through.
32-12 Brush, and that penalty, I believe, was against Lamar, and I would assume that they're going to assess it right now. Now the Beat Diggers have called a timeout. Let's keep it right here. They've got a couple of timeouts remaining. And at this point, Dave, there's plenty of time left on the clock, but Lamar, which already reduced themselves to a one-dimensional offense by almost exclusively throwing in the 3rd quarter and early in the 4th, now is truly a one-dimensional offense, whether they want to be or not.
Yeah, they're forced to put a bunch of points on the board in a hurry, and they're not going to do it on the ground because Brush has stuffed their rushing game. The defense has come to play in Lamar today, and Lamar hasn't been able to run the ball.
Now the Beat Diggers are going to go for 2 because that penalty was against Lamar. Apparently a personal foul type. The ball's at the 1. Baxton and I. In motion to the left is Temple. Movement in the backfield by Briggs, who's going to get hit. They should whistle that dead. He was hit at the 3-yard line, but they've got to whistle that dead because the referee threw the flag even before the ball was snapped, and he has thrown the flag and whistled it dead.
Yeah, Shiloh did jump on that, and sometimes that's just enough to screw up the timing and keep a play from going forwards and make it go backwards. So Lamar's going to decline this thing, and Brush is going to have to kick it off.
Well, that's if the play. I guess the play did count. Yeah, from what you're saying, the play would count, and that means the Beat Diggers, again, like you said, would kick off, leading 32-12 over Lamar. 7:28 to go in the game. We're back in 1 minute on AM 1010 KSIR.
Last year, I didn't like calling it. I enjoyed it. I'll tell you what.
That was a 4-play, 14-yard drive for the Beat Diggers, taking advantage of a turnover, a fumble recovery by Jared Marwitz. Shiloh Briggs from 1 yard away, and it's 32-12, a drive that took 1 minute and 51 seconds. And now the Diggers to kick off with Shiloh Briggs to do it, so that penalty was declined on the 2-point conversion. It was an illegal motion penalty, and Lamar still waiting to get out on the field.
They're taking their big number 76, Joe Herrera. He's a 6-foot, 250-pound offensive and defensive lineman. They just kind of helped cart him off the field. Evidently something's wrong there with his ankle or his knee.
The kickoff will be fielded by Lucero at the 13-yard line, running left to the 20, has a seam to the outside, breaks a tackle at the 28, still on his feet at the 40, knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line, a return of 33, and that's something that you mentioned earlier, Dave. If there's one weakness on this Beat Digger team, it's special teams.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, right there, Travis Bass just flew in there, a freshman. He had his ankle wrapped up, but there was nobody else there to help make the tackle, and Travis left his feet, so he wasn't able to finish him off, and Michael Cummings flew in here at the end and made the tackle on the Lamar sideline.
We have a game update from Kevin Schaefer back at the studio. Back to Kevin.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's give you some finals in 2A. Eaton holds off Kent Denver 28-26. Burlington beats Cedar Ridge by 19. Akron also rolled today, beating Custer County 41-0. Back out to you.
Handoff in the middle to Lucero. Nice gainer across the 50 to the 48-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. A couple of Beat Diggers in on the play from that linebacker position. Josh Deal around the football. The Beat Diggers will take this all afternoon because running is not going to get the job done for Lamar.
You bet. Lamar, I don't know if they're thinking they're going to set the pass up with their running game, but I'm sure Brush could care less, and they're just going to play an umbrella kind of defense, just bend and bend and bend and try not to break. And if they do break, just don't break very fast.
Nice day to mention the word umbrella. 2nd down and 4. Lamar for the Brush 48-yard line. Quick drop. Heaves it down the left sideline, incomplete, well over the head of the intended receiver at the 20, Matt Lera. As a matter of fact, Mitch Muniz looked like the receiver at the 18-yard line, and now the Diggers are starting to read those fade patterns, which wasn't the case in the early going when Valdez had that 30-yard reception leading to the opening score of the game.
Right. Muniz just had great coverage there. He was the only one that was in position to make a catch on the ball, and Lera didn't have a step on him either. He was right with him step by step, and some great coverage.
3rd down and 4 to go. The Beat Diggers on defense. Lamar with the football at the 48-yard line on the Brush side. Back to pass. Walker throwing to his left, complete at the 40. Down the left sideline. 1st down inside the 35 to the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 18. Matt Lera makes the catch before he's rolled out of bounds, and that's a good play on 2 ends because they get the 1st down, and he was tackled out of bounds, so the clock will not restart with a movement of the chains.
Yeah, and that takes Lamar up to 120 yards passing today on 23 attempts. To throw the ball 23 times in a high school football game is a real commitment to your passing game.
And to only average less than 5 yards per attempt is not very good, and that's a testament to the Beat Digger defense this afternoon.
Right on.
1st and 10 for Lamar at the Beat Digger 31-yard line. The backs are split. Walker under center. In motion to the right is Valdez with 6:35 to go in the game. Back to pass. Walker pumps. He's going to heave it down the left sideline. That's well out of bounds towards the pylon intended for Bryant at around the 6-yard line. Bobby O'Kelly was well ahead of the receiver. Ferrancini around the football, too, and that's good news for the Diggers.
You bet. And right there on that play, Walker kind of dropped back, and then Bryant went out on his pass. He went out and just ran straight to the sideline. Samples was out there with his coverage in the flats, so he wasn't open there. So Walker went ahead and gave him the pump fake, which was the signal to go ahead and go downfield. He threw it down there and just threw it too deep.
2nd down and 10 from the 31-yard line. The Digger defense has come up with a turnover on that last drive. 2 turnovers today by Lamar. Valdez in motion to the right. Back to passes. Walker pumps again. Looking down the middle of the field. A man is out there. Intercepted by Ferrancini at the 7. He's down across the 10-yard line to the 14-yard line. Boy, it looked like he was playing a beautiful safety position intended for Matt Lira. The Diggers have forced 3 turnovers today.
You bet. And Ferrancini back there at his free safety position, his job is just to kind of read the quarterback's eyes, make sure nobody gets behind him. But when the quarterback does throw the ball, try to get in the line of fire, and that's exactly what he did.
But this is what we were saying earlier, Dave. When you've reduced yourself to a one-dimensional offense, eventually mistakes are going to happen on the passing game. As you said, 2 things can happen out of 3 which are bad when you pass the football.
You bet. That interception or an incomplete pass. And so far in this game, or in this last drive, Lamar had a lot of both of those.
Here's a handoff left side to Hepner, a huge hole across the 20 to the 24. It's a gain of 9 for the senior fullback, Nate Hepner, setting down a 2nd and 1, setting up a 2nd and 1. Dalen Kerr makes the play for the Savages.
And to follow suit with what you were just saying, John, I noticed right there on that first down, Lamar coaches are pressing now. They want the ball back. They know that they got to stop Brush. They sent everybody. They had 4 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers blitzing right there. That's going to open up the big play for Brush now.
5:49 to go in the game. This will be a handoff in the middle and a 1st down for Briggs across the 25 to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for Briggs. We have a game update. Here's Kevin Schaefer.
Okay, thanks, John. Let's take a look at Ray. They didn't fare too well all the way over to Gypsum to take on Eagle Valley, undefeated, ranked 3rd in the state. Eagle Valley shuts out Ray, guys, 35-0. That's a final. Back out to you.
I tell you what, Dave, I can tell by that score that you're stunned.
I'll tell you what, Eagle Valley's got to be a heck of a football team to keep Ray scoreless and beat them 35-0.
1st and 10. Rush at their own 28-yard line. Hepner on their counter left is rolled over at the 30-yard line. Does pick up 2. More importantly, he stays around the middle of the field, keeps the clock rolling for the Diggers. J.J. Lopez makes the play. The senior linebacker, undoubtedly now, we can say, playing his last game for the Savages, as the Diggers are leading 32-12.
There's only 5 minutes left in the game. 2nd and long here. You know, Brush picks up this 1st down. It really could be over.
Boy, you're being awful conservative. You're waiting till the last. You've seen too much football to know that a 20-point lead is not safe with 4:53 to go. Samples in motion to the left. The counter to Briggs. Gets a block, swings it to the outside, got running room to the 35, hurdles a man there, and he's tackled at the 40. Did they get him on the face mask? No. Mike Bryan brings him down, but there is a flag sitting at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 10, but does it count?
Yeah, I think that they're going to get Neil Samples for holding right there in the middle of the field. It looked like the official was talking to him, and Neil was kind of giving the body language that maybe that wasn't what his idea was.
Well, it's a personal foul is what they're calling against Brush. And I have a feeling that even though I saw the flag before the end of the play, it did occur towards the end of the play.
Yeah, I don't know for sure what happened because I wasn't focused on that part of the field, but this is going to be a costly penalty against Brush.
Well, nonetheless, it'll be a 9-yard gain for Briggs, and they're going to walk off the penalty from the end of the play.
So does he get the 1st down there now, and then it's going to be 1st and long?
Well, he did cross the 1st down, but I think that he does not get the 1st down. They're going to make it now 2nd down all the way back at the 24, so that's going to be 2nd down and 14 to go. But you know what, Dave? I think the good news here, as we see, the clock does run because the play ended in the field of play.
You bet. The Diggers are just going to try to keep that ball in between the sidelines and just run the clock out.
2nd down and 14, Brush from their own 24-yard line. 4 minutes and 25 seconds away from a home contest against Burlington. Ginther, play action, back to throw, looking towards the middle, throwing it. It's incomplete. Nearly a leaping reception at the 35 by Neil Samples, but the ball was knocked out. Actually, he was hit, and then the ball was dislodged. It was either Valdez or Lucero there at the 35-yard line, but nearly a great catch by Neil Samples.
You bet. He really had to go up in the air for that ball as it was thrown just a little bit too high, and he just about came up with the catch. You know, if he makes that catch, Brush is going to be looking at third down and about 3 yards, but now we're third and about 14.
Well, this is a 4-receiver set. Hefner in the backfield. No guarantee they'll throw in this set. But Ginther is back to pass, looking left sideline. He's got a man out there. It's going to be intercepted at around the 50-yard line. And breaking tackles now to the 40. Down the sideline, tackled at the 35 by Josh Deal was Travis Hall, coming up with the interception, the first Beat Digger turnover of this game.
Yeah, you just hate to have those turnovers happen. And I think, Joe, if he could have that one over, he wouldn't have thrown it because Hall had some great coverage right there on O'Kelly. And he was the only one that could have caught that ball when it was thrown over there.
4 minutes, 8 seconds to go with a football now at the Brush 36-yard line. Lamar not wanting to quit here, but they have not gotten into the end zone since the first half. And they have to get into the end zone twice just to be within one score. Naked backfield, Walker under center from the Brush 36, 1st and 10. In motion to the left, Angelo Valdez. Hard count. He's rolling to his left. Here comes Deal. He gets away from Deal. Still rolling left. Throws across his body. This could be picked off. It is! Picked off at the 9 by Bobby O'Kelly. Intended for Mike Bryant. The Beat Diggers have come up with their 4th turnover of this Class 2A playoff game.
You bet. Walker's thrown the ball twice now in a row, and both those times been intercepted.
At the 9-yard line, the Diggers have the football even better, Dave. They want more real estate so they can use up more of the clock. They don't want to force a turnover deep in Lamar territory. They don't need points right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you know that the Diggers are really excited about being back on offense. And I'm kind of laughing now, John, because I just looked over on the sideline and I see all the Brush cheering section's got the wave going on over there.
I thought the wave was outdated. 1st and 10 for the 9. This will be a counter play to the left. That's Nate Hefner tripped up as he gets to the 10, a gain of 1. I think the wave has been outdated nationally, but certainly in the small towns, it's still alive, Dave.
Oh, you betcha, because I just saw it over there, and it made it all the way from one 40-yard line almost to the other 40-yard line. So the fans are alive and well there.
There we go. They got some rhythm going, some synchronicity. That's the word I was looking for. 2nd down and 9 for Brush at their own 10. Receiver split left and right. Gutierrez to the left, to the right. Samples in motion. O'Kelly handoff up the middle to Hefner, hit at the 14-yard line. But he does get 4 yards before being tackled by one of the linebackers on that Lamar side of the football, and that would be Travis Hall, the man who came up with the interception a couple of plays ago.
According to my unofficial stats, that takes Hefner to 103 yards now. He broke the 100-yard mark on 23 carries.
What do you have for Briggs?
Briggs has got 90 yards.
There you go.
15 carries. So you said it.
It's pretty hard to beat a team when you have nearly two 100-yard ball carriers, and the Beat Diggers are proving that today. 2:53 to go in the game, leading by 20. It is 3rd down and 5 from the 14. Inside handoff, first down for Hefner. Huge hole through the middle, across the 25 to the 26. Give Nate Hefner 12 more yards.
115 yards now. He's really starting to rack them up.
And at this point, Lamar could use timeouts and get the football back, but they wouldn't accomplish much here, Dave, because we can officially say with that first down, there cannot be a miracle in the world right now that could save the Savages.
Yeah, I think this game's over with. And, you know, as long as Lamar keeps blitzing their linebackers right up the middle, if Hefner just breaks one of those tackles, he's going for big yards.
Ginther is going to keep the football on the bootleg, running right. He wants to stay inbounds. He stutter steps, reverses his field, and he's down at the 27-yard line after being hit by several of those Savages. A gain of 1. And a 2nd and 9 situation upcoming for the Beat Diggers. Dalen Kerr makes the play. The first initial hit was by Dalen Kerr, or just the initial hit, as Kyle Temple and Bobby Gutierrez will take a breather.
We were talking about the big yards that Briggs and Hefner have amounted today. Ginther's got 9 carries for 59 yards.
Very credible. He had that huge 28-yard gain earlier in the game on a 4th down. In motion to the right is Samples, 2nd and 9. Pitch left to Briggs, gets by a defender. He's at the 30, running room down the sideline to the 40, in the secondary at the 50. First down is knocked out of bounds all the way down to the 47-yard line. Nate Hefner just traveled 25 yards, and he is over 100, Mr. Urich.
Yep, Shiloh's got, right now, that gives him 115 yards on 16 carries, so a real good average for Shiloh today, and a real nice run there. And again, the reason that happens because Lamar's blitzing all their linebackers right up in the middle. Brush just runs the ball outside. They break one tackle where the defensive end's at. they're going to go for some huge yards if the quarterback can't make the tackle.
And we do have a timeout on the field. 1:36 to go in the game. The Diggers are just 96 seconds away from wrapping up this victory. 32-12 brush over Lamar on KSIR.
They barely won 28-26.
John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Savage Stadium in Lamar. The Beat Diggers now with their JVs in there, Dave.
Yeah, Travis Bass is the quarterback. He's taking a snap. He just handed the ball to Geno, and looks like J.J. Pursley is the halfback in there.
2nd down and 9 as the tackle was made. Very good play-by-play there. I'd have just dropped the headset. You can take the rest of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, I try to keep track of who some of these younger guys are because I know, the game's real exciting, but to be honest with you, I'll bet you they would have been sad if they had taken a loss, but for these guys to be able to get into the football game and play a couple of minutes in a playoff situation, being freshmen and sophomores, is just huge experience opportunity for them.
We've got 1:03 to go in the game. The Beat Diggers are just a couple of plays away from calling it a final score. Handoff in the middle to Geno, and he dives to around the 43, a pickup of 2. And that'll set up 3rd down and 6. And when you have a guy like Geno playing with a junior varsity, that tells you something about the depth at the running back position.
I'll tell you what, Geno is just a big, strong fullback, and you have to give him a lot of credit. He stepped in there when a lot of kids, he wasn't the number one guy coming into the season. A lot of kids might have thought about hanging up or not paying attention in practice or not being ready to play. He was ready to go, and he stepped out there, and he was a playmaker.
This could be the final play of the game with only 22 seconds to go. Bass under center will hand it off. Right side, that is Hurt with the football, and he is tackled after a gain of 1 to the 42-yard line, and that should do it as the clock is now inside of 10 seconds. The Brush Beat Diggers have won their 8th game of the year. They defeat Lamar in the opening round of the Class 2A playoffs for this 2002 season, 32-12. We're back in 3 minutes on AM 1010 KSIR. We bring in Coach Dryden. Coach, is it safe to say, is it very safe to say that with incredible execution offensively and defensively that you played your best game of the year?
I think we did play a great game. I don't know if it was our best game of the year. It looked like it. You have to kind of watch film and evaluate it there. I would say right now it probably is, and now's when you got to play your best game of the year every week. And it's the playoffs, and we're in the final 8, and we're excited.
Yeah, it seems you can barely believe it. Just talking to me now, when you went into this game and you looked at the line of scrimmages, by the way you engineered your play calling and by the way the team executed, did you feel that you really had the edge physically in the trenches and were able to run the football anytime you wanted?
Well, we felt so. Towards the end here, they were just blitzing and bringing everybody because they knew we were going to run the football. And there was times when we could have passed the ball, I know, but, we're trying to run that clock a little bit. But, you get a couple plays to work, it opens up other plays, and then you got kind of a system going, and it's a lot easier calling plays. And, and that's the players. They did a great job of executing, and that's about all we can ask them. I mean, they gave 100% effort today, and I'm proud of them.
Well, is there such a thing as saying that this could have been the best play calling of the year? Because after all, Randy, every time this team was ready to make a play, somebody else had the football. You even gambled here in your own territory with a 4th and 2. Ginther took off for 28 yards. Dave and I had everything in our throats all tight, thinking that was a major gamble, but yet it paid off. Obviously, the confidence was there from the coaching staff.
Yeah, the bootleg is one play that's been working for us, especially here lately. Joe's shoulders is finally starting to heal up, and he's starting to feel comfortable with it. And it was a gutsy call. I was second-guessing myself a little bit after I called it and sent it in, but I thought it was a big turning point, and we needed it, and our players just, it's just like any other down. We're going to get it, and they did a great job of execution. And as far as the play calling goes, I got Coach Dillahay up here in the box and Coach Schwent, who do a great job of telling me different things and what may work and how they're lining up. And you're a genius as a coach when things are working and things are, the players executed and they worked.
Now, when you're trailing by 5 points after the 48-yard touchdown pass from Walker to Valdez, was it a case of your defense making any adjustments or just sticking to what they know what to do, which is stay in their lanes, make the tackles, and fill their gaps?
Well, they have that number 83 on their team has caught 90% of their balls all year, and so we probably stressed that more than we needed to. But he's still a great athlete, and he can catch the ball really well. So when he was on the same side as the other receiver, we were kind of pitching in on him and leaving the other receiver open. They hit him for a touchdown. It was a great execution on their part. After that, we told our players, hey, from now on, we just play our defense and don't worry about who's where or what, and break to the football. And I think we made that adjustment on the sidelines just before half, in the middle of the second quarter probably, and we did a much better job. And our defensive backs broke to the football better than they have all year, I thought.
Last thing, Coach, last week, of course, you beat Estes Park with a last-minute drive, and you won by a point in that game. The team was obviously tight throughout the course of the game, even though they were able to come away with a victory. Today it seemed completely different. You came out, even though the defense did struggle a little bit in the first half, you won the game by 20 points, and you were, according to many people, an underdog. You're on the road, first playoff game in 4 years, so the team was fairly relaxed. And as I was telling Dave earlier, sometimes as you advance into the playoffs, the pressure is even more on a team to win. But you're at home next week against a Burlington team that is the defending champion. Are you think you'll be just as loose next week as you were today, considering that once again you're an underdog?
I hope so. I often worry about our football team because are they ready to play? Because this is the loosest football team I've ever coached. This seniors we have on our team, they have a great time with each other. And sometimes as a coach, you get upset and think they're not ready to play, but you don't have to worry about these guys being loose most of the time. When they're real quiet and focused like normal football teams, then you have to worry because then they're nervous and you can tell. So when they're loose, I guess I'm learning a lot of psychology as the past few years, and that is one of them. You got to go with what you have as far as a team, and they did a great job today. They were ready to play, and that's hats off to them. They just come out here and executed and did a great job.
Randy, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much.